Hello, this is Jordan from TheWhoopGroup and you are watching What's That Game, and today's game is FTL, a 2D roguelike space sim made by Subset Games, a two-man studio. Now this is one of the first games to be released through Kickstarter. It's currently priced at £7 on Steam. You can also buy it through their website and a couple of other digital distribution platforms. Now why is this game a roguelike? Because you die a hell of a lot. Basically, how you play the game is you're like a floating god and you control everything. You control your crew, where they go, what they're manning. You can change the power, divert it to different places where you need it. You can upgrade the ship and you make all the decisions about the ship. Now this game has quite a nice pixelated art style, but for those of you wondering about scalability, if you want to run it in full screen mode, there are a couple of ways which will make sure it looks fine in full screen mode as well as in windowed mode. Right, we're now going to jump into a new game, and this is your basic hangar screen. So you can do some basic things in here. You can rename your ship. You can choose whatever name you want, or if you have no name, it's called the nameless one. You could also choose the ship, which makes a big difference. So there's 9 unlockable ships. You start with this one and you can unlock them by doing various tasks you can see on the right hand side of your screen. Now some of these are quite difficult to get and will keep you coming back to try and unlock them. Now along with that, every ship has two types, type A and type B. And these types can be unlocked by getting 2 out of these 3 achievements down here, which are different for each one. So I'll show you that on the NG ship. And depending on what ship you have, it changes your crew, which you can see down here, and your weapons, and your augmentations, which are special abilities. And then these are all your systems that you have on the ship, and their starting values, depending on what ship you have, depends on them as well. You can hide the rooms if you just want to see how the ship will look aesthetically from the outside. Now you can also customize your crew and rename them to whatever you want to make it more personal, so when they die you will feel even more sad. Now there are 2 difficulty settings. Easy increases your scrap reward and easier enemy generation, and normal standard scrap reward and enemies, your score gets a 25% boost. Now whenever you die in this game you get given a score, and so basically you're always trying to get the best score, although the game does have an end. Right, I'm now going to start the game. I'm going to choose this because it's my favourite, and we're going to start off and then we're going to jump into something a bit higher level and further in-game later on. Now the data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for your journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next, but get to the exit before the pursuing rebel fleet can catch up. So the basic story is you're always being pursued by this rebel fleet, which forces you to keep moving through the sectors and eventually get to the end where you will fight a boss. Now this is the main screen where most of the game will take place. This is your hull, so basically your health up here. It gets damaged if you get hit, and you can repair it at shops. This is your scrap. It's a universal currency used for both buying things at stores and also upgrading your ship. You've got your consumables here, your fuel. Every time you jump, that consumes 1 fuel. Your missiles, certain ships will have missiles to start, missile-based weapons to start with, and you can also find them and buy them. And then also drone parts. Every time you make a drone to use on your ship, it will consume one of them. Again, some ships start with this, others you have to buy the drone system from the shop. You also have your shields here. You can upgrade your shields and get more layers. This is all your crew. It shows you their stats. So a crew member that has done a lot of one thing will be better at that thing. So say, for example, my pilot here, if he continues to pilot for a long time, his piloting skill will go up and he will get bonuses for doing so. Down in the bottom left is your power. Now these are your available power bars. Again, different ships will start with different amounts of power, and these are all your primary systems here that this ship starts off with. There are more, and these are your subsystems. Now subsystems don't have to be powered even if you upgrade them, so you will always have them powered, and then these you can decide what to power. So say I want all of these lasers, which each cost 1 bar, which you can clearly see there. I don't have enough to power all of them on, so I can power down my med bay, which heals, for example, to boost that up. Now I'll quickly run through each of these things. So you have your shields, so they will deflect damage when they're up. That is one of the rooms that when manned will get a bonus. All the rooms with the terminals in get bonuses when they are manned, and you can see that it's manned, so it will increase the speed that it comes up. Now engines give you an evade chance and also increase the speed at which your FTL jump powers up. So if you're in a fight that you cannot win, you're going to want to get out of there using your FTL jump, so that can come in handy. Now the next one is oxygen, which replenishes your oxygen. If you power this down, then your oxygen supplies will drain, so obviously you want that up. Your oxygen can go down by either hull breaches where you're shot and it makes a hole, or if you want to open doors to vent out oxygen to stop fires. The next one is the med bay, which just heals any members who are in there. Any attack that hits a room can also damage the people inside, so sometimes you'll have to heal them. And then also you can be boarded by enemies which you have to fight, so you may need to heal because of that. Next you have your weapons. So you can have 4 weapons at any time, and you can choose which ones are powered. They each have different power costs and recharge times, which you can see there. And then your subsystems, you have your pilot, which is required to make a jump. If you don't have someone in that room and you don't have your engines on, you cannot make an FTL jump. And it also helps with evasion. Now your cameras allow you to see rooms that nobody is in, and then doors allow you to open and close them. Now I'm going to quickly run over the upgrade system. So if you click here, you can see all the upgrades. Now you can upgrade each part of your ship, each of your main systems and each of your subsystems. As you can see, there's also 3 main systems that I haven't got yet. So you can get more shields, get more evade chance, get faster oxygen to come out, be able to have more weapons, more energy dependent weapons systems, higher health regen, better auto evasion chance. You'll be able to see in the enemy's interior and their power use, and harder doors, and then you can just increase your general power, which you will then have to give extra these to if you upgrade them. You can also see your crew. Each of your crew members, their stats in here, you can dismiss them. Now there's multiple different types of crew you can get. The basic human, which is your average Joe, doesn't have any exceptional traits, no buffs, no debuffs. This is a Zoltan. They provide power to the occupied system, so if you don't have a lot of power, you can use one of them. And its maximum health is reduced. This one is a Mantis, which has double damage in combat, but 1.2 times movement speed, so it's faster, and half repair speed. So they all have different bonuses and debuffs. There are 6 different types of crew you can get. And then equipment. So here are all your weapons. You can have cargo, which are basically weapons or drones or augmentations that you don't have space for. Augmentations are just little buffs you can buy or find, and then drones are your drone types that you can that you want. So now that I have explained all the systems and such, we are ready to move on and explore the galaxy. So this is your FTL drive, which you can activate here, and then this is the map. Now this is the first sector. There are many sectors to explore, and when you get to the last sector there is a boss fight. So let's move to this section here. As you can see, it takes away 1 fuel. Now you can get any random event happening here. Sometimes it's nothing, sometimes you can meet a horrible ship, sometimes there are different options you can take. If you have certain subsystems or drones, you can get certain blue options which tend to be really good and really benefit you. So soon after arriving in the system, you are hailed by a small cruiser. What good fortune that we happen to run into each other. Nothing personal, but you have some information we need. So now they are going to attack us. So this is the combat phase. Now you can pause and play the game at any time, which is a nice feature. Things can spiral out of control very quickly here. So I'm going to get one man to man the guns, as he is doing nothing at the moment. Which will speed up my weapon recharge rate. So these are all my weapons, and I can choose what room to individually target. As you can see, he has shot me, but my shields have deflected it. So we are going to put everything onto his shields to try and take them down. Now he has taken out my sensor array, so I can no longer see inside my ship unless it's a room that is being used. So let's start repairing that so I can see a bit better. Now his shields are down, so I'm gonna, and there's clearly a fire has broken out. Depending on what weapons you use, there's a higher chance of fire. There's also a fire in that room there on my guy, so I'm gonna put 2 into his weapons and then 1 into his engines and 1 into his oxygen. We're probably going to have, we can pull our pilot to also help take out this fire. As you can see here, we've done a lot of damage to him, taking his whole damage down, his whole health down a lot. So he says, you are considerably more well armed than I would have thought. We surrender. So many ships surrender if you get them down enough, and then they will give you an offer. For the most part, if you don't accept their offer and you kill them, you get more scrap but less missiles and fuel and drone parts, but a lot more scrap. So we will accept that surrender because some of our ship is on fire and other stuff. So we're going to go and repair over here. As you can see, our oxygen is starting to go down due to that hull breach there. We're now repairing this section, and he is repairing that hull breach. So we can now see there's another fire here. We'll get them onto it. He's about to die, so I'm going to move him to the med bay where he can heal. These 2 can start repairing the door system, and then we can get our doors back. As you can see, they're red because they can't be opened, and now they're orange. We can also heal them. We can get him back onto the shields. Once he's healed up, we can take him back to the pilot seat and him onto the engines. Now whenever you're out of combat, your FTL drive will automatically fully charge, so you don't have to wait around for no reason. Okay, now that I have showed you some basic combat, I'm going to show you some of the stores. Now you have to travel to a store like any other part of the map. You'll see it say store when you're 1 square away, but you can also get an augmentation which will allow you to see it from further. Now in the store, they will all have some amount of FTL fuel, missiles and drone parts which you can purchase, and then some will have some systems and drones or weapons or crew. So for example, here we have a crew teleporter which allows you to teleport your whole crew onto their ship, and here's a cloaking device which will allow you to basically cloak and then let your weapons charge while theirs can't, and also dodge weapons. And then we have some different types of drones here which we can buy, and you can also get your ship's hull repaired at any store. You can also sell any unwanted weapons, drones, cargo, augmentations and all that kind of thing if you don't have need for them or you need some cash. Right, now I've jumped further to some high level gameplay. I'm a lot further through, I have a lot more weapons, a lot more crew. I'm in a bit of a bad state here at the moment. I just got into contact with this ship. I don't have much hull, and a couple of my crew members are quite badly damaged. So let's roll out this combat. Now at the higher levels there's a lot more to manage. because you have a lot more different weapons you can have with your power, how far. I've spec'd with a lot of shields, and I've also spec'd with a large amount of weapons, so I can use my burst laser, which shoots 5 projectiles to take out their shields, along with my single laser, and then I use my hull laser to do large amounts of damage to their hull. Now I'm very low on health to begin with here, which is a tad annoying. I have some members who are low on health who I will heal up now while I am playing. Now I tend to wait for this to recharge so that I can take down their shields again. Oh, a large amount of misses, so I'm likely not going to get through there. Oh, there's a large amount of misses going on there. See, so I'm going to move these two guys to repair, swap him over to that system. No, keep him there. Move them to repair, take this guy and get him healed. And then I now have access back to my basic laser. I can hopefully punt through their shields as long as I don't miss a lot. Use that to do more damage to their shield. Take this guy, move him back, move these two guys out so I can get the extra. Oh damn it. And so I've taken a couple of hits. My oxygen, which isn't too important at the moment. Let me get him in there to heal up a bit, which I've taken power off. Right, so I can put power on because at the moment my engines are not powered because they've taken it out. Right, it's back. I'm going to put him back on there. I'm going to put my basic laser back. I'm now going to punt their shields again. Right, I can then hit them. Oh, and both of our ships died. Now that I have died, I have been given the game over screen. It shows my score. This is my new highest score, and so you can always try it and get better and better. This has been Jordan from the Whoop Group, and you've been watching What's That Game FTL, and thanks for listening.